when you try to buy a toy for a child, nowadays there's this automatic cars, but that car cannot spend more days because he wants to go there and check what is the things that, it's very much crucial because always young ones are researchers. It's said this side of where there's a Xhosa speaking. Right now, there are group who wrote grade 12 last year, from grade R to grade 12, using their own mother tongue. Wow. So then the minister, Warube, is also emphasized to say we need now to teach learners in our home language. Wow. Because if you remember during our schooling, we started to learn English while we are doing standard 6. True. Initially, general science was doing it in Venda, social studies in Venda. So to me, I think it's simple. And grade 1A, B, C, D. Obviously, D is those ahead. True. And when the teacher going to the class, even at the staff room, they said, I'm going to that class where the learners are not saying anything. I'm encouraging the issue of grouping, checking the abilities of the learners. So it must be mixed. Science is nothing else. It's only what you can practice at home as long as it engages learners in curiosity and develop critical thinking. If they allowed science being in the blood, now everything will change the country. You can see 2040 we'll be having a good scientist who will be developing well.
Welcome to SA Science Spotlight Podcast. My name is Dr. Clinton Dlamini. We are still at the 69th South African Institute of Physics Conference. I'm very honored and excited to be joined by Professor Shonisani Mulovhedzi. Am I pronouncing it correctly, Prof?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Prof. We really appreciate taking your time to join us in our platform. How is the conference so far?
Hi, conference is very much fantastic.
It's fantastic.
We are enjoying because we are presenting things that we do have a knowledge.
Yes. Interesting, Prof. We just wanted to have a sit down with you just to ask you a bit of questions on what you presented today. I think you are focusing on a field that not so many people are really interested in, which is ECD. So, Prof, can you tell us about your journey into early childhood education and what inspired you to join this particular field specifically?
Thank you, and thank you so much. The things that inspiring me, it's after I completed grade 12. I was that person who couldn't manage to be admitted at the university level. So what I did, my husband tried to advise me to join UNISA. And I studied through UNISA. While I'm studying through UNISA, then in our village, they advertised a position for somebody who can be a practitioner. While busy completing my studies with UNISA, I was also appointed, earning very little money, 300 rand, just imagine.
Wow.
But from then my husband says to me, why can't you study to further these issues? Because you are working with it instead of just doing the different things. By then I was studying Bachelor of Education, just Bachelor. Then that at the University of Venda there was this diploma in early childhood education. Then I started. It's where I started to love and have a passion with early childhood development. And by then it was good because I was also a practitioner. Wow. So it means it's so good because moving from a practitioner to a full professor.
Wow, interesting.
Yes,
That's a very interesting journey, Prof.
Yes.
I think, Prof, today you mentioned some aspects that not so many people are focusing it, such as you mentioned that it's important for us to ensure that we ensure that our early childhood young ones, they must focus on science. Why is that specifically, or why is that important for young ones to focus on science at an early age?
That is very much important, and that is a brilliant question. It's very much crucial because always young ones are researchers. It's just because they are researchers that we cannot say they are researchers. Because everything, as if you still remember, I've even indicated to say, when you try to buy a toy for a child, nowadays there's this automatic cars. But that car cannot spend more days because he wants to go there and check what is the things and see what are the things that makes that car to move. just like if you buy a doll to a child, you want to open and say what is inside, and after 2 days the head is at that side, the hand is that side. So I think now I just realized to say science is already there. It's just because it was not implemented.
True.
So if you check there, most of them in ECD, we want them to master first what are the tools that they need to use. So this will help them when they go to secondary level. Instead of starting science, start to learn from a minor tool that they can even learn in ECD. So I feel that to introduce
at an early age.
At an early age, it can even improve the performance of the learner in grade 12.
I think this is so true because I remember with myself when I was young, I used to play with a lot of toys. When they buy us something, I'll break it even in a day. It's broken. You want to see what's inside. This is true. Prof, you also mentioned that home language plays a very important role. Why is that home language should be one thing that we need to focus on also when it comes to early childhood?
Yeah, I think it's important because it is also emphasized in the policy.
Yes.
So if you check nowadays, I heard that in Walter Sisulu University, or let's say this side of where there's a Xhosa speaking. Right now, there are group who wrote grade 12 last year, from grade R to grade 12 using their own mother tongue.
Wow.
So that thing is very much crucial because it's easy for the young ones to understand the term. The term that can be even used at home. If we say bulela, so it means the child will understand bulela from home, bulela at school. But it is important for home language to be used. And the other thing again, it is also emphasized in the policy. And if I was very much fortunate where I attended Lihutla in February from 28, then the minister Warube is also emphasized to say we need now to teach learners in our home language.
Wow.
Because if you check now, I will give an example of you. If you have already married, you are speaking with your child in English, and you are moving away with your own mother tongue, of which now in ECD centers, now we are emphasizing that they need to learn first in their home language. Then we can say, if we say libati, then they will know that it's a door. So that is important. And it will be simple. I think from home language to English is better than from English to home language.
But Prof, so I think that is a very important thing. But how are we going to mitigate when now they have to be competitive, let's say in university level? Would it be easy for them now to be competitive with other children or learners or students? Do you think it will be easy for them to translate back to English with whatever they learn?
Very, very easy. Let me give you an example. I'm an HOD of the Department of Early Childhood, where I'm running the program of Bachelor of Education Foundation in the foundation phase teaching. Now, because we do have a policy, during the home language, students are separated. Home Spedi speaking aside, Tsonga speaking aside, Venda speaking aside, and Siswati speaking aside. We cater these 4 languages. And it's simple. Why? The other subject, they're doing it in English. That is why I said when we come to home language, when they learn, there is that issue of saying integration. Do you integrate with the home language, with English first additional language, with mathematics? When you teach learners to say, how many fingers do you have? The person will say, we have got 5. Then count, what is 5 in your home language? Then they will indicate it, that 5 is this in home language. And then in English, then which sound start that particular 5? In English, they will know it's F. In home language, depend on the different language. So that will be very easy. Remember during our schooling, we started to learn English while we are doing standard 6. Initially, general science was doing it in Venda, social studies in Venda. So to me, I think it's simple. And besides that, from grade 1, they do also four subjects, including English first additional language, and also home language, and also life skills, and also mathematics. So it means it will be simple.
Prof, I think for me as an academic person, I'm a lecturer myself, and I find challenges when you have to teach people because the learning styles are not the same. I think looking at early childhood, do you think with the current system that we have, where we group students or learners based on, we say that in class A or class B, these are smart students, these ones are not slow learners. Is it a good system that should be used, or we should change that type of system in terms of teaching our early childhood
I think that one we need to change, because you know what? It is also not demoralized the teacher. Just imagine grade 1A, B, C, D. Obviously, D is those done ahead.
True.
And when the teacher going to the class, even at the staff room, they said, I'm going to that class where the learners are not saying anything. I'm encouraging the issue of grouping, checking the abilities of the learners. So it must be mixed. It cannot be, and we need to avoid friend grouping. So it means the issue of grouping learner, it's also important. Even what I'm doing at university, what I did, I said, now there are a group of assignment. I'm not expecting Tsonga in the one group, Spedi speaking one group. I want them to vary. And now it's important because we are also introducing the issue of saying, checking the domination language. In our side, it's Tsonga and Chivenda. So either you are speaking Siswati, either you are speaking whatever language, but there is a lesson that we call it communication. It's a module, communication language, where either it's Spedo, whatever, they choose among these two so that they can communicate. So those things help them, even during the discussion. So that method of saying grouping learner A, B, 1, 2, I think if you can take even the report for nowadays, it's no longer including the position. They just say progress. And then now, early come January, then they just let us go wherever. But there are some schools, what you are saying is very relevant. There are some schools that they are also following that style. But it demoralizes the teachers, knowing that in that class, even I ask, what is energy? No answer will be coming. But if they are mixed their abilities, that will be the better.
Wow, beautiful. So, Prof, I think there's less women when it comes to science. What motivation would you give to someone who's young lady still in primary, high school, that want to come into science? What motivation would you say to them, or what can they do if they want to follow similar steps as you?
Yeah, I think what I can say, it's something is coming from the heart. I will advise them to develop a passion. When they go, these things start at home. As a parent, you are a lecturer at school, here at university, but at home you are a father or you are a son of someone. Then when you go and buy that particular toy, I think it's a high time that during the meeting of the at schools, we need to advise them to say, move away of just buying things that is not making learners to learn. So it's where now we can check and also even give develop an awareness. So awareness is very crucial to tell them that this is important. These are the things that you need to do. Try to develop a physical science or a science mindset to young ones, so that when they come up with that is why if during my presentation I said, when you are baking, don't take learners away or children away from you. Allow them even to wash their hands, intervene in mixing that dough until they understand what is it. And from there, then each and everyone, even the young ones, will do so. It's not easy. I can see now when I said I'm busy piloting with the practitioners, you can see that they are blank. But since we have started this issue of saying, no, science is nothing else. It's only what you can practice at home, as long as it engages learners in curiosity and develop critical thinking.
Wow, beautiful. Prof, you also mentioned, I think during the presentation, that father role is very important in early childhood. Why is that?
Yeah, in the family, we prefer that there is a girl child and a boy child. And I'm happy because even the Minister Warobe, now they came to this, she even advisors at the university to say, go and do the research. Why more female boys, male students are not that much than boy. So it means I think that is very crucial because they need to develop that mind of saying teaching is not only for, or let's say ECD center, it's worse, wherein they also admit learners that they can even change the nappies. But it is important to them to say, also male can do that. At home you are helping the males, some males are helping the wife. So those things must also expand to the ECD centers.
Wow, Nice,
Yeah.
Prof. Prof, just one more question. What legacy would you like to leave behind with? I know you have some students that you're supervising. What legacy would you like to leave behind?
Yeah, the legacy that I want to leave behind is they need to develop that passion. You know, if things it says passion, it means it needs to be in the blood. I think I put it right correctly.
You've said passion
It is
many times, yes.
in the blood. If they allowed science being in the blood, now everything will change the country.
Wow.
You can say 2040 we'll be having a good scientist who will be developing well.
Wow. Thank you so much, Prof, for your time. We really appreciate you having joining us in our platform. Wish you all the best and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
we
you.
are SA Science Spotlight Podcast. We are out.